welcome back. Anambra election has come and gone, but the effect stays with us, and how 2027 is going to look like is becoming a little bit on the forefront. ADC, Labour Party, and all PDP, we saw them like duck, they couldn't fly. Okafor, what happened to them?
Yeah, let me start first by saying I give very big credit to Professor Soludo. I know they were calling him Solution now. He was the solution. Solution continues. That was a part of his mantra for re-election. Congratulations to him on many fronts. One, thank God for Donald Trump's tweet. Otherwise, more than two more governors would have shifted to APC.
Yeah.
Soludo never moved to APC. Even when he had election coming.
Probably they had an alliance with
whether probably or improbably or whatever. Soludo never moved to APC. This politics and gaming was also available to all other governors who claim to say, oh, because of my second term election, I didn't want to gamble. That is why I am moving to APC. What's it called? Soludo was in Abga. He invited Asiwaju. Asiwaju went to Anambra. They spoke. Politics is about negotiation.
But there's this rumor beyond the moving stuff. There's this rumor that is out there that as a governor, if you move, you get 250 billion.
I don't want to go in unsubstantiated.
That's why I said
a rumor that is not substantiated, and that will not take away my credit to Soludo, the man who stood in his party. The party with which he won his first tenure to run for the second tenure. And let me tell you, there is this thing that goes with stability. He didn't move. So that side, somebody that's scored 422,664 votes, and the next person is scoring 99,000 votes. The next is scoring 10,000 votes. The next is scoring 6,000, 8,000 votes. Put all together, thereabout. What fraction is that? Let's now go into the mechanism of the election. Yes,
okay.
It wasn't the best election. I'll come back to buying of votes. All that.
I'll come back to you on that.
Okay.
Now, let's speak from where he stopped from. He's giving some kudos to Soludo, stability, consistency, and all that, still in Abga and looking at Abga as a party. Now, let's also look at the other parties put together. And estray, one person in particular, Obi, is his effect declining?
Thank you very much. Yes, when you say you want to give credence to Soludo, we should get it clear what he's saying. He is not saying that Soludo had done very well, but what he's saying is that people should stop jumping ship in the name of collaborating with the federal government.
That's the credence
you can remain in your party. Yeah, I'm making it clearer to the public.
Okay.
Because they should get it on
His
clear.
strength of character.
Yes, you can remain PDP and have collaboration with the president, and you still remain a governor, so that your integrity, your character should be something people can talk about, like we're talking about to Soludo now. Now, having said that, we come to Peter Obi. Whether Peter Obi popularity is declining, my answer to that is no, because Peter Obi had not stood any election since 2023 till date. What Peter Obi just merely did is to support a candidate from a party. That doesn't show whether he's popular or not. When you are supporting a candidate, you are not the one on the ballot, so you can't determine whether Peter Obi, popularity is declining. That is my take.
Okay. Let me pause you there on that. Yes. Now, the structure of Peter Obi that we have seen.
Yes.
For example, we saw the obedient general of Obi's movement in Anambra campaigning for Soludo.
Yes.
And does it mean his structure are not well structured?
If you remember the statement made by the whatever general he called himself, he said that the fact that they are campaigning for Soludo does not mean that they are no longer supporting Obi, but that Obi, stood for good governance and Soludo stood for good governance. That is why they are working for Soludo. So what it means that it is not that they are leaving Peter Obi. Yes, you may ask the question: does it mean that the structure of Obi is not properly put in place? To a large extent, the obedient movement is not structuralized as it were. It is a conglomerate of people who believe in Obi, leadership, that Obi can bring about good governance. And that is why the gentleman said, look, Obi, what thing that attracts us to Obi is the preaching of good governance. I will see in him that he can bring about good governance.
That's
and I know in Peter Obi. Okay. And we also saw same, or rather what Soludo had done so far in Anambra is also what Obi is preaching. So we are going to ensure that it continues. That's what the man said.
So from where you stopped, you were talking about credibility of the election and all that. Yeah. But I want to take it after that one. I want to take it into Obi's issue. His structures, his personality, his person. Is it dwindling?
Okay, let me put it this way. Nigerians are surviving democratically by adaptation. What do I mean by adaptation? Let me give you an example. In United States of America, if you find a democratic president or a democratic governance in place, you are going to be so sure that social welfares are going to be increased. But if you have a Republican governance in place, you are going to be so sure that they are going to say, oh, all man stand for himself. Social welfare, cut it off. We don't believe in social welfare. People should be working. Why are you not working? Do you understand? Why is that? Because the party has manifesto. The party has philosophy. The party has behavior. Nigerians found themselves since 1999 where people elected into offices had never even stayed with the manifesto of the party. Oftentimes, the party themselves do not even have a manifesto. You saw Buhari say, oh, it was my party that said 1 naira to $1. It wasn't me that said it. It was our billboard that wrote 1 naira to $1. Did you hear $1 to $1 from my mouth? So you see that people are divorced from their party manifesto or the belief of their party. So Nigerians are now trying to adapt to following individual wherever they go. Obedience in Anambra State said that what obedience movement itself stands for is for good governance wherever it is found, not necessarily a cult-like followership, because this person is a member of this party and the party has brought him out that we must vote for him. That leads to blindness. If you say, oh, because Moalu is a Labour Party candidate, therefore all obedience must vote for him, that it has a way of covering bad governance. But we are allowed to choose among the best candidates wherever we can find them, among those contested, we will vote for them. That's what obedience stands for. If obedience stands for that, we will have by no means abandoned obedience. Only that the person the Labour candidate brought out is not the most acceptable to the obedient people. That's what they have demonstrated. It does not in any way say, oh, Obi's influence has diminished. But can Obi do better in putting his belief under a structure? Yes. You and I have said that obedient movement by now should have had list of those that are going to contest for any position. As a matter of fact, it should have even grown to a party since 2023 on itself. But again, like I said earlier, every leader has his own style. Maybe Obi's kind of leadership style is that spontaneous style.
This leadership style, did they work in Anambra?
In this case, you didn't have you had him say something. He said, all of them contesting are my brothers. Anyone that wins, what is important is that they serve the people.
But you should have said that before the election.
He said it on the election day.
Yes.
Yeah, that anybody
you should have said that before we had an election.
Well, I don't know when. I can't determine for him when to say
that. That's what I'm saying. He's putting that out as anybody. Of course, he should. By democratic principle, he should support anybody that wins.
Yeah, but he says something that he's a member of Labour Party. Of course, certainly he has to support a candidate from Labour Party. He said they are all my brothers.
But the other one you started talking about.
Playing in Champions League, not the third division.
Okay, let me push it to the credibility of the election. A lot of people are calling to question. We saw them mention IREV, Beavers. What was the credibility of the election? Especially a lot of people talking about vote buying and all that. Is that what we are going to do?
You see, when you talk about the credibility of the election as it were in Anambra over the weekend, it is scored 0% by me. Because we saw live video from voting point, wherein the electoral officer, the president, were questioned, are you with the electoral result? They said there's no result with us. So what happened to the result? He said the SP, that is his superior, said they should go, that they will bring the result later. So what are they doing there? And it cut across the entire Anambra State. Yes, truly, the result were uploaded up to 95% as reported by the media. But what result are they uploading? Is it the one voted by the people, the one that does not have a result sheet to record them? So when you put all of this together and the massive vote buying that was recorded, for instance, I hear the APC spokesperson in Lagos State who took it upon himself now every time must speak about Obi, has said that the Obi lost in his community, in his unit, where Obi is a man who believes that people should vote their conscience. He doesn't believe in a sense when you use money to influence people to vote. The APC shone out money. I think their searchlight was in Obi's unit. My question I asked the Sheyi Oladejo, saying that Obi lost his unit, it shows that the confirmation of the APC. What happened to the APC in the entire Anambra State? Why can't they be the one that won the election in Anambra State? Is it that Obi unit is where the entire Anambra election is conducted? Because when you put $1 billion for a unit, just to show that you are popular and you bought the vote because you control the financial institution, the EFCC and all the rest of them that were supposed to arrest those who are buying vote, and they look the other way, and that shows that you are popular. You see, when you talk about whether the election is the credibility of there's no credibility there. It shows how the election in 2027 is going to go. They just test run what they are planning for 2027, and it works for them. Now that they saw that it worked for them, they are going to advance on it. So in 2027, they are going to come up. That's what it is.
The credibility of the election, the uses of electoral.
Oftentimes authorities think that only reported cases are what happened. The returning officer, based on reported cases, declared that yes, there were some irregularities, but they were by fraction insignificant. But what of those unreported? It's not everything that happened that you saw. Not everything. So that is why we continue to say, let there be a system that checks this, not spontaneous one where we can find them until we get there and say, okay, where is the result sheet? And they say we can't find it. We'll now record at Ihiala units or the one or whatever. There is no result sheet. No. There should be a system that ensures that there must be result sheet before voting starts. As all other materials must go together with the result sheet. Separation of result sheet from other voting materials should make you to query the system. And when you query the system, it backtracks to wherever it would have happened unnoticed. This one just happened to be noticed. What of those ones not noticed? What of other voting? If not that man, I saw one video. Well, I forgot. The man didn't say his name. One man like that came and said, okay, Atihiala. He said, where was the result sheet? So what if that man didn't come there? All the voters that didn't know that they were voting and there was no result sheet. So in many other places, they could as well be voting because that man will not be everywhere. And they will be voting and there's no result sheet there. So your voting is cut away from the result sheet. So why did that happen at all? Happen in one place is enough to query the entire system. Not recording that one as the only way it happened. No, it was a system that allowed that. The system allowed that. Are you sure it didn't allow it anywhere? Only that other places was not reported. So our system is still not foolproof. We are still not ready for credible election. I think I'd expect we thought to do better. Uploading onto Rivers, yes, like you said, is it what was voted that was uploaded? Result sheet is a different thing from what was voted. We have to know there is a gap. When you separate result sheet from what is voted on the polling unit, you are under the prerogative of the people.
So now, do we know if they are going to use the IREV to monitor the result sheets that we got?
You see, before like I told you that this is a dummy pre-2027. What they have done is that the result sheet is being removed,
separated,
so that they can work. They are working from the answer to the question.
That's right.
So when the vote has been casted and uploaded on the IRF, you equate it with the result. So what will come out from the result is what is on the IRF. That's what they have done. There are also cases where people are disenfranchised, where they know they are not popular. The reports are there. People who want to vote for the first time, the machine could not capture them. Those who have been voting, once that place, they show that these people will vote otherwise, and the people will ensure that vote counts. the missing malfunction. So, like he said, it is not those one that is noticed. What about the one that go on unnoticed?
Why did the system allow separation of result sheet from the voting? It's like people are writing a different. You have marked the answer already. You now upload the result sheet. They say, oh, there is IREF. It's not about what did you upload on the IREF. The result sheet you uploaded on the IREF, is that what was voted? Did it tally with what the voting? So the separation of result sheet from voting shouldn't happen. There's no way it should happen if our system allows that not to happen.
All right,
going forward. Like he said before, going forward, for our election to be credible, before election commence, before accreditation commence, the results everything should be made bare to the voters, to the live, to the voter. Everybody will see it in real time before they go into voting.
All right, we're still going to come on this maybe some other time, this voting pattern and all it takes. But a test run of what's going to happen, we will be seeing, because other elections, other off-cycle elections will be coming up very soon. Still, last slide news, we're still here.